Welcome to Hello Tomorrow. Hello Tomorrow is a podcast where we introduce remarkable individuals and their work to the world. A new episode will be available every fortnight on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other major platforms. Now, over to Subhash.
Hello Tomorrow is all about introducing remarkable individuals and share their knowledge with the world. If you would like to support the podcast, you can donate on Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/hellotomorrow or on Patreon at patreon.com/hellotomorrow. We thank you for your support in advance. Hello, I'm Subhash and welcome. This is our second interview in the lifestyle series, and let me introduce Saikrupa Kanth. She is an actor, model, and a fitness trainer. Welcome to the interview, Sai, and we look forward to having a great session.
I'm really excited, and you gave like a real big introduction about me. I don't know if so it's like I would rather put that as jack of all or master of none. But yeah, thank you so much for that. It really feels good to hear all the things that you told about me. Yeah.
Yes, but then your accomplishments are here to show. We'll talk about them during the course of the interview today. So, Sai, shall we start off with your education? Can you talk to us about your education?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what? Really, never did I tell anybody about my qualifications or anything to do with my education. This is the first time that I'm going to talk about it. Let me tell you, okay, let me put this way. What do you think I would have done? Can you take a guess?
So, like most of the Indians do, you might have either been an engineer or a doctor and then chose to do whatever you wanted.
Okay. Okay. I just did my 12th. I couldn't finish my graduation. I'm a college dropout because I couldn't really afford my education. When I was doing my graduation second year, it was really important for me to work. And with the work and the lot of stress that I took, financially, that I couldn't pursue my education. So I just did my 12th. For me, you need education, but is it really important? Like if you're sitting in a class and not really learning, if you have a certificate for a heck of it, it doesn't really make any sense to me. So it's really important that you learn, and you learn from every individual, to put in a way. So that's what I did, because I couldn't really afford going to a college.
So, before we get on to the fitness part, in
Mm-hmm.
your early years after your education, after dropping out after 12, what
Mm-hmm.
did you do? What work did you take up?
Okay, it's a long story, but to put in simple sentences and words, I've been working since I was 16. Okay, so I used to take these tuitions in the school for fourth standard and fifth standard kids. That's how it started. Then I worked with event management for almost 5 years. I've learned a lot of skills and professional skills in dealing with events. Yeah, I was with them for almost 5 years, and then I applied at HSBC. I was really worried they would never select me because I just did my 12, but I got through. And I worked with them for 2 years, and there was a time where I used to do like four jobs. Like there is no Sunday, there's no Saturday. I used to work with event management. I used to work at HSBC, and I used to host shows in between. Whenever I get time, and do my modeling assignments at the same time. So for me, the days used to be really packed. Like unlike other kids, I never had an opportunity, or I miss it sometimes, but that's okay. I never had time to go to a coffee, go for a coffee with friends, or go to a theater, or just sit and chill. I don't know what all those are. And so I was with HSBC. Then I took a break. I got married. I took a break for like 2-3 years, and then it so happened that I joined an organization as a marketing head. And it's a fitness app. It's a startup, startup. And then they wanted me to work with them and understand the product of how the entire fitness thing works. And it was a new concept in India. None of us back then believed in lifting weights, and there were a lot of myths. And this organization wanted, the perks of my job is like I need to work out on their programs, understand the program, or understand what is the app is all about, and then market it.
Awesome.
And
As if your work has a side perk like that, I guess I should get onto such a job as well.
yeah, so that's how the fitness thing started. If not for me being a fitness instructor, like, or a coach today, is the last thing that I ever dreamt of. I never ever in the weirdest of my dreams thought I'll become a trainer.
Understood.
So it just happened. It's all destiny. But if not that, probably I must be doing some marketing thing in one of the organizations, or any of the other things that I know. So that's how it was pretty much. I never had like a big things. I know. I'm happy with what I did. I have no regrets. But it's not like big names like I work with them and I work with this. There were a lot of skills that I was using, like as I said, hosting the shows and like doing modeling, and
Yeah.
so that's how life was.
Yeah, so as long as you're creating value, I guess that is the greatest add-on you
Absolutely.
can actually have as an individual. So could you quickly run us through your experience or your work as a actor as well as a model?
I like the way you said actor. I'm a bad actor to start off with, so I do not want to talk about that aspect of my life. But as a model, okay, so I was this kid who's always shy about pictures because, according to me, then I wasn't a great looking kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then I had a lot of insecurities, and I used to look at people, okay, and I used to admire them and say, why am I not like that?
of course.
Oh, why don't I stand in certain way? Why can't I pose in certain way? Or why am I not beautiful? I used to look at myself in the mirror, how I want Saikrupa to be.
Right.
I wasn't like that, but I had this picture of a Saikrupa that, okay, Saikrupa should pose like this, she should speak in certain way, she should sit in certain way, and then she should act in certain way, which I was not. I was manifesting, and my sister was, I mean, she's still cutest. She was really cute kid, and I used to see all, everybody used to give her more importance over me just because she was cute looking, and then she was really active and I wasn't.
Yeah.
So somehow I understood the fact that, the world unfortunately gives importance to somebody who's good looking, and I wanted to be one, and I don't know how, and I never used to like myself, but I used to manifest every day looking in the mirror that I want Saikrupa to be in certain way.
Yeah.
And everybody that I used to come across, like let's say Subhash has a this beautiful craft of speaking, I copy that from you.
Yeah.
When I see another girl who's really dressed up nice, and I used to copy that from her. Let's say somebody has a good way of walking, I used to observe them so much, and I used to watch the videos of Priyanka Chopra, Shushmita Sen, or any other actor who used to sit in interviews, and then speak. I used to be like, oh, this is how I need to speak. Look at them, like the way they sit on a chair or the way they use choice of words. I used to observe all of them, and over with that, when I was during my inter days, I decided I want to become a model.
All right.
I just went to a school, asked them to teach me. They were not sure if I can become one, but then they were like, okay, if she is ready to pay, why not?
Yeah.
It's all about the money. I didn't have money to pay for my course, and I went and told my mom I want to become a model. She slapped me one.
Okay.
And then I understood I got to do this in my way. I started working, and I used to get like 7,000 rupees, and the fee was 20,000 rupees. I used to walk from Raj Bhavan Road to Banjara Hills just to save up the money, and I paid them in like a couple of installments. And I've learned my modeling. How did I get a chance? The first photo shoot that I ever did, some other model was supposed to do the shoot, and
Okay.
she didn't turn up.
Okay.
And then through someone, like a long chain of people, they got to know that this girl was waiting for the opportunity. She is ready to even work for free.
Okay.
They called me that, will you be able to come? We'll start the shoot in next 3 hours.
Okay.
I was like, okay, did somebody really call me for a photo shoot? Somebody is asking me, that means I look good, but I'm just a replacement. But I went, I did it. I couldn't believe I could do this, and it started from there. And I don't, God knows how many photo shoots I did after that.
Yeah.
And I started liking myself, and I started accepting who I am. And then it turned out to be like, whenever I meet people in real, and then I realized the fact that I'm very photogenic. And they're like, is that you in the pictures? I don't know if I had to take that as a compliment or a comment, but then here I am.
Yeah, as in also your choice of stylist, your photographer, and themes in which you shoot are really, really good, and I
Thank you.
really like them. So awesome, as in and great that even with your busy schedule as a fitness trainer, you're still able to make time to attend the shoot, and
Yeah, I love
they're
it.
really
I
good.
totally. Another thing that I realized, Subhash, in this process is you become what you manifest. No matter how you look like, it really doesn't matter. Me as a kid who's very naive, I thought looks are everything. Okay, but after evolving so much as a human and understanding things, you become what you manifest.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm assuming that people not just like me because, okay, Krupa looks in certain way, but for whatever I am today, they, the looks are just surpassed. They're just probably just an added thing, but I think I'm much more than that.
Over time, things that are not very normal become normal and then almost become a part of us, which,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, yes.
So, were you fit as a kid, Sai?
I always wanted to be an athlete when I was a kid. So I was this crazy kid who used to get up 4:30 in the morning
Okay.
because my parents never liked me going to the ground. You know how I come from a typical family where they do not want girl to have a lot of marks on her body. If she's falling down, and then all. Unfortunately, it summarizes to the fact that she should be beautiful, she should be homely, and she should just get married. So my parents, and as it is that in India we do not have much privilege for girls to get into the sport so easily, right? So my parents were dead against it. So I used to hide and sneak out and go to the ground in 4:30 in the morning and be there till 6:30 and come back.
Okay.
So I was an athlete till my 10th standard. I wouldn't call myself as really, really fit, but I was decent.
Okay. What
But
games were you involved as an athlete?
I used to really run. So
All
I
right.
was into running. I used to play really good coco and then kabaddi. So you name it, I was there. I used to participate in all the school games, and I went up to districts. And then it wasn't easy for me to pursue post that. And after 10th, life was all about education. So it was me as a kid playing all this, but I do not know if I have to term myself as a fit, because term fitness, speaks a lot. Fitness is defined for me like, if you ask me, I am fit to do, let's say, weight training, but am I fit enough to run? So fitness is like you fit into that. So it's like different for different people. And then if you're able to use your body like to maximum potential, for me that's fitness. I don't know if I put it across the right words. I'm not so great with my choice of words, but yes.
At the end of the day, as long as feeling is there in the words get the feeling.
Yeah, I agree to that.
So after that, as a fit kid, you finish your 12th class, and then as a
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
your work as a marketing head, you had to.
No, then I'll tell you what happened, Subhash.
Okay.
Luckily, I had a lot of good habits in terms of my food and lifestyle. My parents never ever allowed me to eat food out. So I don't remember going to a restaurant or eating a pani puri on the roads until I was 18 or I started working. And they were every day I used to drink coconut water every day for all my life. So there are, and then I never had a value for them. Then I thought it was everybody's life is in the same way. But then now when I think back and realize, my parents did such an awesome job of making sure that I never had any foods that I'm not supposed to eat or
Yeah.
that doesn't suit me.
Yeah.
And my mom made that effort of cooking everything, including the sweet. You want to eat kalakan, it was made at home. You want to eat biryani, it was done at home. So there's never going and getting it from out. And now I see, I'm 32 years old right now, and I remember probably taking vaccinations until certain age. The regular vaccinations we supposed to get.
Yeah.
From that day till today, I never felt sick. I've never been to a doctor. People really
This.
surprised, but yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what an injection feels like until I took a corona vaccination recently.
Yeah.
I don't know what a stitch feels like. Touch wood. I don't know what a glue taking an IV feels like. And the regular small diseases. I just get a headache or a cold sometimes if I'm tired or too much in the sun,
Mhm.
and that's maximum. I don't know what fever feels like. So there is nothing fancy.
Yeah.
And as I said, then I never understood what it is. I was very happy kid jumping here and there, but then now when I look back and I'm like, isn't it so amazing? I am so surprised to see these days kids at the age of 8 and 12 who are pre-diabetic and have thyroid levels, and like their cholesterol levels are rooftop. And I'm like, okay, I did I have all this as a kid? No, I don't remember. I never remember my mom taking me to a doctor stating, okay, she's not feeling well, she's complaining of a pain in the leg or nothing.
Understood. So yeah, as a part of fitness, I guess there is equal parts of the food you eat as well as the workouts you do that make the whole circle complete. So as long as your food is taken care of, I guess the fitness part can be taken care of easily.
I feel that's the major part of the nutrition.
Right.
It's like, let's say, imagine if I have to compare myself with any supercar, spend a crore and buy a supercar.
Yeah.
Can you really ask that supercar to run with the fuel without a fuel? We need, at the end of the day, even if you put a premium petrol or a diesel, I am very bad with these things, but let's say, which cost the minimum is 5 liters. Can you run that supercar with probably the world's best car without the fuel in it?
Right.
Or if I put a wrong fuel in it, for that matters.
Of course we can't.
It's the same way. Our body is a very complicated machine and it needs that fuel. No matter how talented you are, how good at everything. You don't have a right fuel, you don't work.
Of course. So after your after your class 12, were you still following some form of fitness, or did your work, the multiple jobs you did, take up pretty much all of?
No, I'll tell you what happened then. I was put in terms of the weight, like how everybody judges somebody's fitness in terms of how much weight you weigh. So until I was 19, 20 years, I was hardly like 49 kgs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to join HSBC. Now, the corporates is another aspect that we need to really look at. Now, all of a sudden, my shift timings changes, 2:30, 5:30 in the evening to 2:30 in the morning. And by the time I come back, it's 4 in the, morning, 4 a.m. I used to come back, and I used to eat food at 4 in the morning and then sleep and get up in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and then again go back to my work. And Saturday, Sundays, I get off. What do? I do my remaining work.
Right.
So my life is, I'm running against the nature.
Yeah.
I'm working when I'm supposed to take rest. I'm doing everything against the nature, right?
Yeah.
And because of sitting at one place whole day with the event management, I was constantly running. Then but then here at HSBC, I sit 8 hours in a chair and then work. And you go to cafeteria, eat food which is not right, and then friends ask you to go to a mall and eat ice creams and XYZ stuff.
Right.
I went from 49 kgs to 65 in a span of 1 year. And for somebody who wants to be a model, and all of a sudden she sees herself and people don't recognize you, it really hits you,
Yeah.
And I think I was really, really happy at HSBC in terms of what I was earning. For a 20-year-old kid, how much money do you need? I was earning really good. But then I took a decision one day when I realized that my health is taken for granted, and it's not just about me putting on weight. Something is not right with me. I literally took a decision of quitting the company at the peak of my work or my career.
Right.
I quit HSBC, and that's the last time that I worked with a corp. I never ever want to look back or do any job where it puts a lot of stress on me or my health.
Right.
Because for me, I thoroughly believe the word health is wealth. You don't have that, doesn't matter even if you're the world's richest man or a woman for that matters.
So if you don't have good sleep and good food, I guess.
Yeah, basics.
Yeah, basics, right.
And then I realized I need to do something. You don't believe, Subhash. I approached a lot of trainers. I did what not just to cut down on the weight,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing happened. I wasted a lot of money. I wasted a lot of my time. I trusted a lot of people that they're going to help me out. I wouldn't really blame them too. There must be mistakes with me as well, not certain times following it the way it's been asked to follow.
Right.
So I don't just blame the people out there, and blame myself too. I wasn't motivated enough. I was depressed. I do not know what to do, but the only thing that I know is I need to cut down on a little weight.
Right.
And I did certain fat diet. I used to lose 2-3 kgs, and the moment I'm back to eating normally, I used to gain that back at the same speed. So it was really, really, really bad. I didn't know, and then I left it at some point of time. I accepted the fact, okay, Krupa, once you gain, you're not going to lose. This is how it is, okay? And just live with it and be happy. Don't take stress much.
Okay.
And then I just gave up, and I got married. And one day I went to this startup, the fitness app startup, to join them.
Right.
And that's when my life changed.
So what was this thing that made you change, apart from this sudden increase in weight because of your uneven work schedule? What else motivated you to get onto fitness after joining HSP?
It's weight is definitely a bigger aspect of it. You used to fit into every damn clothes that you put on. I used to tell people that they used to ask me to come for fittings. I never used to go for fittings. I used to say that there's nothing that has to be changed. You just say, I was just like a mannequin. You can just put on anything on me. It used to just fit me perfectly.
Okay.
And people used to ask me questions. Oh, so Krupa, what do you do? What sort of a workout do you do to maintain this? I actually never used to do anything bad. But then all of a sudden, when it's gone from my hands, I miss that. And so that was a major part of it. And then I realized, not just physically, but mentally, I am not the human that I want to be.
Right.
You start yelling at your parents. The food is not being cooked there or not there on time. You yell at everybody at home, your mates. And when you're working, you take a lot of stress. And then you are a different soul altogether. And I could observe all this and realize it's everything to do with my the schedule that I have, my work, and that is what it is. And I saw, okay, Krupa. And then I did this introspection. Just take a pen and paper paper that I do even now. Pen and paper, and
Okay.
put on the paper that where am I right now?
Okay.
Okay. Or
Okay.
where do I see myself? Not that I am good at planning my future,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, okay, just an analysis. Okay, Krupa is working at HSBC.
Okay.
What will happen in next 5 years? What are the possibilities? Okay, she might really excel in her job, and then they give her a promotion. And let's say even if she manages to get 2 promotions, how much would she earn in terms of financially? Okay.
Okay.
What is she getting along with the money, the experience? What else can happen?
Okay.
Okay. I think all that, and then I see what are my opportunities. What is that I'm going to lose in that 5 years? Me
Okay.
sitting at one company, or should I shift to another company? Or this is this the life that I want? Because the moment I leave that organization, nobody remembers. They just settle my accounts and then I'm done. I don't know if any of the new batches knows who Saikrupa is, that she used to work at some point of a time at HSBC. Nobody cares. There's so many employees.
Yeah.
Is that what I want to be? No, that's not what I want. So I just took a decision even when I needed the money. Everything was just going good. I just resigned and came back home, and I told my parents that, what, I left the job at HSBC. And my mom was surprised. You were paid good. Everything is good. Why did you leave the job?
Okay.
I said, no, that's not what I want to be. So there are a lot of reasons that I left HSBC, and I decided I got to take care of myself mentally. And
So after you joined the company and started to get fit, how long did it take to get back to your previous firm?
first 5 years, nothing happened, Subhash, because I was not on the right track. It's so
Okay.
important to be on the right track. As I said, I tried with a lot of trainers. I read a lot of books. I followed n number of diets. Nothing happened.
Okay.
And I got married. See, when I say I was overweight, people who used to look at me then, I was like this cute little bubbly girl. That's it. But I know
Okay.
that I was overweight. I know that I'm not comfortable in my own skin. So I just gave up, and I accepted the fact this is how it is, because I had absolutely no knowledge in what it takes to be fit, or what I need to do to be fit. Until, as I said, almost for 5 years, from 21 to not even 21, from 21 to 27, I was clueless. Nothing happened. There was no change.
Okay. So is there some form of fitness or something that you followed properly well that made this change?
I'll tell you what has happened and why I got into this. So when I did my interview, my coach, who's also the founder of this app,
Okay.
he told Krupa, I want you to try out the programs and understand this app better so that you can sell it better. I said, okay. I know I wasn't fit, but I never knew I was bad.
Okay.
Okay, so he said, why don't you come for an evening fitness session? And then I went to his place to work out. He has like a cute little gym, and then that's where he trains for himself.
Okay.
And then I went. That was my first day of interaction with my coach, Daniel. And he asked me to do a squat.
Right.
I couldn't do a squat. Can you believe that? And he just gave me a bar which is probably 10 kgs.
Okay.
I couldn't hold the bar and lift the bar of 10 kg. And Daniel is someone who's very straightforward onto your face. He said, I cannot help you. You're in a very bad state. And then he just got up from there and left.
Okay.
I felt I was very humiliating, and then I was like, oh damn. And then I realized I was in a very bad state. Okay, then I literally, Daniel had an assistant, Ramakrishna, and I begged Ramakrishna to train me.
Okay.
To I want to make a difference. I want to change myself. I want to take this seriously. Then Ramakrishna said, okay, the only time that he had free was 2 to 3 in the afternoon. I said, that's perfectly fine. So I used to skip my lunch, because I used to work out and then have my lunch. And you cannot have like so much of a heavy meal, you don't feel like working out.
Yeah.
So I used to skip my lunch, wait for Ramakrishna to come, and be on time in the room, and started learning from him. In 3 months of a span, the efforts that I've put into it, I was doing a 50 kg squat, from
Right.
not able to hold a 10 kg bar to not able to squat normally to a 50 kg squat. It felt like so amazing. I felt like a superhuman. I felt like the super girl.
Yeah.
I'm lifting 50 kgs on my back, and I felt I don't care a damn if I become thin or to fit into a certain size.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what gives me wings is that I'm able to lift certain amount of weight.
Yeah.
It was quite challenging. Today you lift 10 kgs, tomorrow you lift 20, eventually you lift 30, and then 40, and then 50, and then 60, and it went on.
Yeah.
And that motivated me. That I was like, okay, Krupa is doing a 50 kg squat, so I speak myself, not to compare with anybody else. Okay, Krupa, now you have to master 50 kg squat. Then we can try 55. Then we can try 58. And that's how I got into this.
So right now, how is your schedule like?
I get up at 4 o'clock pretty much.
Okay.
The days I don't have morning clients, I get up around 5:36. 6 is maximum. If I sleep beyond 6, I feel guilty about. I
Right.
feel that I'm losing on something,
Yeah.
So pretty much 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And then I'm out by 5.
So, and then
And I
you
work
have.
till 9 in the night.
Okay.
I have clients from 5:30. As I said, from 5:30 I step out from 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock until 1 I work. 1 o'clock I come back and have my lunch and rest for an hour, and then I start training again from 3 o'clock, and then I work till 9 in the night, and then I come back, have my dinner, hit the bed by 10:30. Mad.
So, what is your definition of fitness?
See, as I said, my definition for fitness is if you're able to use your body to its maximum potential.
Okay.
It's nothing like, I will say you achieved it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that you achieved it. You can just go on. Like, I wouldn't see, if, like, in literally the way Google says or anybody says is, if you have certain amount of flexibility, mobility, and stamina and strength,
Mhm.
you can call yourself fit.
Perfect. Yeah.
But then for me, it's like the maximum potential. There's so much that we can do, and we do not know about us, and you unleash that very often. So
Sure.
if you're able to use your body to the maximum potential, like,
Yeah.
put everything at work in a right way.
Sai, what are the kind of workouts you do on a daily basis?
I do my gymnastics. I
Okay.
do yoga. I do weight training, because I believe you need all of them. Not just not just being strong. The flexibility is important. The mobility is important. And stamina is important. So I make sure I maintain all of.
And is this the same mantras that you use for your clients as well?
I do not. Okay, it depends. From each client, for each client. When clients come to me, I first analyze to see where they stand as on today. And if I feel that they need to start from the basic, I feel movement is important. Mobility is important to start off with. Let's say if your back is not mobile enough or your hips are not mobile enough, what is the point of me just putting a load on you and making you squat?
Yeah.
For a head coffin, for that matters. So I teach them that first.
Okay.
The movement, the mobility, the stability, the
Okay.
balance. I mean, and once they're good with this, is when I move to a complicated movement, like a compound movement, like a squat or a push up, and then build on the stamina, and then give them the bar to lift.
So you have had quite a few celebrity clients, as far as I remember. So how did it all happen?
So I trained one known celebrity, to be very precise, Tarun.
Right.
Tarun is a national award-winning director and a talented guy. I mean, there's so much to speak about. That's for another day. But so what happened was, I watched his first movie, and I was just taken away, with Pelli Chuplu.
Mhm.
And I just texted him on Instagram stating it's an amazing movie, and that's the only movie where I watched without taking a break.
Okay. Okay.
So he just replied, very humble guy, stating, "Thanks, I. It was really nice to see your compliments."
Right.
So we know each other like that on Insta. And one day he approached me for another project, because I was into modeling and all that. He wanted me to act with another director, and it so happened that I met them, and then in that process started talking to Tarun and told him what was I doing then. I was training Indian badminton team along with my coach Daniel at academy. So the moment I told him, he was that sounds so good, man. You're super strong, and a girl like, I mean, you look so so like a model, and I can't really imagine that you lift weights, and not just lift but train people.
Right.
I said, yeah, I just started off my career with this. And then he's like, can we talk more about it? Then I met him, and I was explaining him. Then at the same time, Tarun told me it was really, really difficult for him to follow a certain diet, or to because of his schedule. And then he did approach a coach who was training staff, and he was pretty rude to him, because he said, I only train celebrities or big people, not and he is like, I can only train you if you pay certain amount of money. And he said, I don't know, Sai, how this all works, and I'm really not secure enough to go and train in a gym.
Right.
I said, give me an opportunity. It is my opportunity. I mean, I would love to take that opportunity and train you if it's okay with you. He had a lot of questions in his head. Can she do the job, or am I in the right hands initially? I'm sure anybody would have that. And he was 105 kg, and then I think we went up to 85 in the span of 2 months or 3 months.
Wow. And he did all the different kinds of
I
movements.
followed strictly strength training for Tarun. Nothing else apart from the 4 lifts: bench press, shoulder press, squats, and deadlifts. Just the 4 exercises in the way they are supposed to do in a program, well written program, and with the proper rest, and just following the basics of diet. That's it. There there is no a big miracle, or I use certain. He wasn't even taking up. I mean, he used to. I mean, he takes a good amount of meat, so we weren't even giving him the protein powders or some sort of supplements, but we tried giving him all the food which is natural and home cooked, and the right amount of protein that is required for him. Yeah.
So, how do you look at yourself and your work going forward? As in, you must have had some plans and things to do personally as well as a fitness trainer. So, how do you look at yourself going forward?
Subhash, I really, really feel that, as I said, I never dreamt of becoming a fitness trainer. This is not even in thought. Like, as a kid, you'll always have this, right? I want to become a cricketer, I want to become an athlete, or I want to become a singer, dancer. You will think of everything that possibly you can do, right?
Right.
In that list, I never had this. But I am one today. And then I had a lot of, again, the introspection of what am I doing? Where do I want to see myself? And fortunately, I touched so many lives and made a difference in someone's life, and it gives me a lot of kick when I do that. I have a client who's 18 years old.
Okay.
She told me that's probably one of the best compliments that I ever received. She says, Krupa, as a teenager, like, or rather any teenager would need that one adult in their life,
Right.
who'll show them the path or guide them in a right way and understand, going into again being a teenager and understanding them. And she said, you are that adult in my life, not just physically, but you trained me mentally too, and you made me importance, like how I need to value myself or my body or what I'm doing today. And she said, I don't know, if it wasn't you, what would I been doing? I would have been doing something, but not, I wouldn't have been so happy the way I am.
Yeah.
I felt that was insane. And then I have a 3-year-old client told me that she had a lot of back pain issues, and then today she doesn't have, and she lives 60 kgs pretty much. And I felt, this is amazing. I'm not a doctor, but I can probably make somebody strong, make sure that they can avoid doctor as much as possible. And I think I would want to learn more and more and more and do more research about how the entire body works in terms of me training people or my career as a trainer. I'm happy with whatever I'm earning. Money is just a part of it.
Yeah.
But I want to touch many more lives and become the trainer to help a lot more people. And initially it was all about earning money, making money. You paid good. But I feel now, along with money, I train a lot of people for free of cost. Somebody who really want to make a difference in their life or want to take that, what do you say, like if they're ready to make a change. Yeah, I am
Make a
all
change.
in to help them out, even if they're not able to afford me. I'm making my money elsewhere.
Right.
I'm open to take up people and then guide them in the right way. So that's what I see myself as a trainer. But personally, if you ask me what is that I want to achieve, I realized the day one I was nothing. I started from zero. I wasn't even able to lift 10 kgs. At some point of time I was lifting 60. At some point of time I was lifting 80.
Right.
As I said, my takeaway, if you ask, how do you define somebody as a fitness? The ability to use your mind and the body to the maximum potential. If I'm able to control my body and mind, for me, I'm a successful human. I don't want to earn a lot of money or construct big buildings or own certain cars. I want to be able to use my body and mind to its full potential and see what I can do.
Perfect. Well put. What would you suggest to an average person
You know,
in terms of fitness?
all of us can make a change. You don't really need to lift so much of weights like we do, Subhash.
Right.
But remember, movement is important.
Yeah.
To start off with, movement is really, really important. So let's say if I have to give an advice to Saikrupa, who is working at HSBC, who's 49 kgs, and if I have to tell her that how she can avoid turning into 65 kg weight, I would have asked her, please put an alarm and make sure that you get up every 20 minutes from your table and take a walk.
Yeah.
Have a sip of water. Move. Your body is designed to move.
Right.
So just don't sit at a place. Or I would have told her, please avoid the unnecessary sugar that you don't need. There's nothing called good food and bad food. It's all about do you really require that at this point of time? I would have told her, please avoid that unnecessary sugars that you were taking, eating Greenstone ice creams or so much of junk outside. Avoid that, Krupa. That's what I would have told her. And I would have said that the days that you're getting time, Sundays and Saturdays, please take rest. Please pamper yourself. Go for a walk. And if you think you're great at walking, you can push your limits a little more. Choose any activity. I'm not saying only do weight training. I'm not saying only do yoga. Move your body the way you want to. That's the advice I would give to anybody. And I tell these people, make yourself a priority now. If not, you have to make yourself a priority one day when you're in the hospital. You will not be able to do anything. You'll be just on the bed. A lot of people will be working on you.
Yeah.
Don't go to that state. Make yourself priority today.
So, is there anything else you would like to share?
One thing that I wanted to tell everybody that I meet is your body is like a temple. example. We could have been a dog, we could have been a lizard, we could have been anything else, but we humans, right? You've
Yeah.
got this amazing life, and then you've been given brains to think and act accordingly. If you don't respect yourself enough or take care of your body enough, body wouldn't give up easily. It'll wait, it'll try and compensate. Like for example, if you're not able to how we say in terms of fitness, let's say if you have stiffness in the back, your body will compensate elsewhere, and then it will still do the work, not give you the pain only after 2 years, 3 years later the problem pops out. So don't wait until then, mentally, physically, and nothing is more important than you taking care of yourself. Nothing, absolutely. Respect your food, know where your food is coming from, take time to eat your food, think before eating and putting into your mouth. Taste is only till the time that from the tip of your tongue to the two ends.
Yeah.
Once the food crosses that, you don't have any taste. If you could control that, you can control anything else. I apply the same principle today without before eating something. Okay, what is this fuel doing to my body? Okay, is it worth me taking stress so much and taking up another client
Yeah.
at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning if they're ready to train with me? Or is it worth me being awake after 10:30, partying with some friend, or going to a restaurant and eating a pizza there or anything there? Why is the question? What is it for? And you know what? We don't take care of ourselves in a good way, and then you put that trouble to the people at your home. Imagine if somebody is not feeling well at your home, would you be like happy and nice about that? Gives you stress in some other way, right? So not only you spoiling yourself, but people around you, you're creating a negative environment, and that causes troubles to others. Like let's say my parents are very, very healthy and happy today, I don't have to worry about them. How much makes me happy that I don't have to take stress about. But imagine my parents have some sort of a disease or some sort of a sugar. I have to worry about what she is eating, where is she going, and because of corona and all that, the age factors, that would have been so stressful for me. Like in terms of, okay, my mom is not well, what do I do, where do I go, how do I get cured, and I'm not at my fullest potential. Yeah, please do take care of yourselves in whatever form and way that you think make your soul happy and the body happy, and everything else is history and the next.
Of course. Thanks a lot for joining and participating in this
It was my
interview.
pleasure. I hope I made sense. It was my first podcast. I don't know if I did it in the right way, if I made sense. But all that I can tell you is I just put out whatever my thoughts are. And from you, I was just seeing your the lift the other day, and it was so amazing to see the way you're doing your lifts, and it is so good to see somebody who understands the importance of fitness today.
Thanks a lot, Sai. Have a great week ahead and wait for my next podcast with another remarkable guest.
Please do subscribe and share our podcast and do join us on this journey of learning.